Welcome to part 2 of Consequences of Helping the Unhoused in Los Angeles. My name is Gail Gramlich. This is Go See Gail. And cut to me being in Florida. And Los Angeles people, if you remember the floods, do you remember how it rained like insane? It rained so much. I was getting the reports on the news in Florida.
Beginning today through Thursday, an atmospheric river is expected to deliver up to 10 inches of rain across Los Angeles County, making it one of the wettest Christmases in recent history. And we know that with those rains comes strong winds, a risk of mudslides, flooded freeways, riverbeds, and down power lines, among other hazards. And as we gather to celebrate with our loved ones, I encourage you to stay informed and be prepared for any emergency that might occur.
We have legitimate threats to public safety with landslides and mudslides, especially in recent burn scar areas. And when you get this high of an urgency, this high of a warning for flash flooding, it results in really bad things.
And so I remember texting a bunch of my guy friends. I was just like, how are the floods? Are they crazy? And they're like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I almost text her, don't take my car out, okay? But then I was like, she knows. She wouldn't be dumb enough to take my car in the floods. She wouldn't do that. My cat has the zoomies. Well, she didn't tell me until December 26th because she didn't want to ruin my Christmas. But her car wasn't working so good. And she had to drive an hour and a half to pick up her daughter who lives in bum F, who the hell knows, but it was far away. And she says all the time, I have the worst luck. Everything bad happens to me. I don't know why. I just have the worst luck. She drove my car an hour and a half away in the floods, and she has the worst luck, right? Who would do that? Who would do that? Who would take somebody's car an hour and a half? And I pay for the miles, like my insurance. I pay for like Lemonade insurance. You pay by the mile kind of thing because I don't like drive around that much. And she crashed my car on the way back. She crashed my car. I have a Honda CRV. I had a Honda CRV with 42,000 miles on it. It was a 2015, 10 years old, but 40,000 miles. It's a great car. And it was in really good condition. Had some little this and that, but it was in really good condition. I just got 4 new tires. I think I had new brakes too. And she crashed my car. And I learned that I don't have collision because I just don't crash my cars. I just don't crash my cars. I should have had collision. Lesson learned. I do now because I had to buy a new car. So she crashed my car on the way back and she was able to drive it home somehow. And she calls me on the 26th and she was she was crying like the day before. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you. It's just so traumatic what I've been through. The next day, I'm like, well, what happened? I called her. I'm like, what happened? Are you all right? And I gotta tell you something. I thought it was my animals. Did she let the cats out and they got hit by a car, eaten by a coyote or something? Are my cats good? Your cats are fine. I'm like, that's good. I'm like, is it my car? She's like, I crashed your car. I told me the whole story. My car wasn't working, and I get it. She wanted to pick up her kid for Christmas, but it's like and her kid has a boyfriend that drives halfway to meet her. So she meets them halfway so that they don't have to drive the whole way. Well, I think they should have driven the whole way because now I don't have a car. You just took my car. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to give you my tax returns. I'm supposed to get $6,000. You get $6,000? You don't even work. How are you getting $6,000? Like, from what? Man, that's such a racket to have kids, right? Just have kids and get $6,000. You do absolutely nothing. I mean, I don't know what she does. I mean, she doesn't work that much. I'll tell you that much. That's me being mean, but it's like, I hardly ever saw her work. She worked a little bit. She did. I brought her to work with me. I'll digress and tell a quick story. We did this AI thing. I know, don't do AI. We did this AI thing where I got a couple $100 to do AI. And they asked us a question about money. What if you guys lived together and you did this and you did that and you needed to share bills, and what if she didn't do this or what if she didn't pay? And I said something along the lines of, would you make it equal if you lived together? I don't know. It was some kind of weird thing about equal. And I said, well, I would make it a little less because one of us owes the other one some money, and she's like, it would be equal. I think it would be equal. It should be equal. And she kept saying it should be equal. And I'm thinking, cool. If you want it to be equal, then let's split the $3,150 rent down the middle. And I'll take my room back. Thank you. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's make it equal. Let's make it equal. I'm so mad at you guys. I just have to get this story out. Let's make it equal, okay? Yes, that'd be great. Those were days where I would see like her fiery eyes and anger, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with what I thought I was dealing with, There's all these little signs that made me realize I made a mistake. But I would trudge on because I'm like, no, and you talk your way out of it. Just like in a bad relationship, like in a toxic relationship, you talk your way out of it. Like, no, it's fine. I just hurt her feelings a little bit because she's been through a lot, unhoused thing and being in her car and everything. She's been through a lot, and baby daddy is not the best. And so I made her feel bad, I guess, sleeping on my couch for 7 months to help this girl. I mean, who does that? Me. So she crashed my car and said she was going to do everything she could. She didn't. She really didn't.
What is it?
My fault. All my fault. I ruined everyone's Christmas.
You did.
I know
you did ruin my Christmas.
Albert. You told us so, and that was honest of you. But as you said, it was your opinion.
No, that isn't it. Something else.
What else?
Mr. Trundle's clock in the village hall. I wanted to see how it worked, so I climbed up into it and...
Kerplunk?
Kerplooey!
You broke the clock?
I didn't mean...
You crashed Gail's car? Oh, you didn't mean it? You didn't mean to? Oh, I understand that. You didn't mean to.
Father, I'm sorry.
It's not enough to be sorry.
It's not enough to be sorry. When you've done something wrong, you have to correct
the thing you did.
That's it. I'll fix it, Father. I'll fix the clock by midnight. Then maybe Santa will...
You believe in Santa?
I don't know. But I've learned that I still got a lot to learn.
But son, you don't know how to fix a clock.
That's all right, Father.
Copernicus knew. Okay. You hope. And now, hurry. Getting ahead of myself here. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies. Here's the deal, guys. This kid's, 12 years old? And he's a mouse. And even he knew. I have to correct the thing I did. I have to correct the mistake I made. This is why I'm so freaking angry. Is that this girl, this friend, who did make a mistake. It was a mistake. I understand it's a mistake, but you have to correct the mistake you made. And I'm not saying she has to pay it all back now. And I was only asking for a very low amount compared to what I actually am owed. And I think I talk about that later on in the video. We're getting there. But I'm just saying, even a child, this is a child, knows that you have to correct your mistake. And if people ask you about payments when you owe them money, you don't get mad at them. You tell them, I'm doing my best. Communicate. That's what you gotta do. Fix your mistakes. If you make a mistake, fix it. That's it. That's the lesson. That's one of the lessons in this video. You gotta correct your mistakes, people. All right, back to the video. She did tell me that she was going to give me her state taxes, and it was like $500. And I was like, cool, because I'm going to need that. I'm really going to need that money for rent. That would be really helpful. And I just kept asking her because I was just like, how long does it take? And then she told me, oh, it's only going to be like $375. She actually said, I'll borrow the rest from my kid, because she works. And so I was like, great, do that. Borrow the rest from your kid because I really need it for rent. I need it so we can have a roof over our heads. I need it for the roof over our heads so that we can all be housed. I don't want to be unhoused. So that's why, another reason why this thumbnail has the crab bucket, because I just feel like, I'm helping this girl, and little by little, I'm just finding myself with less and less money. I keep giving and giving, and I have less and less, and I'm trying to help her, but I'm becoming depleted helping somebody else. And I don't think she cares. It just didn't feel like she cared much. And I don't ever remember hearing a whole lot of thank you, not a lot of gratitude, not a a lot of that. And for some reason, I thought all this helping stuff was going to make me feel good. And even my mother would say, it feels good to help people. You did the right thing because you did the right thing in helping someone because you felt good and it made you feel good. It's just you helped the wrong person because she didn't have any gratitude. She had more of an expectation. Like you were supposed to do it because you're in a better position financially, and why haven't you done it? I'm not operating her mind, because I'm not saying that's what she's saying, but it just kind of feels that way by what I've dealt with dealing with this girl. Anytime I would ask her for this money, I just kind of get these dark eyes, these evil eyes. One day I was asking about the money situation for the car, and I would say stuff to her like, it's only $500 that you gave me. And oh, by the way, my car was worth like $12,000 to $15,000, right? I told her that I only wanted $6,000, and I was going to ask my mom for help. I'll pay my mom back someday, but my mom is my mom. I've never needed help from her in 20 years. My mom was happy to help me a little bit, which is cool. So I was only going to ask for $6,000. And then I was going to sell my junker that she destroyed, my car, my beloved car that I love so much that she destroyed. I was going to sell that and then pay it off. That was the plan. And one day I just sort of like asked her about stuff. I got this whole thing in a text. I gave you $500 and I could have really used that for myself. You crashed my car, dude. You crashed my car and I gave you my bedroom for 7 months. At that point, it was like 6. For 6 months, for half a year, I gave you my bedroom. That's kind of messed up my personal life a little bit. When she said I could have used that money for myself, and I'm like, you crashed my car and you've been staying in my room and you trashed my room. I just basically said in the beginning of May, you have until June 1st to get out of my apartment. I'm leaving too. I have to move out. I can't afford this apartment right now. I will one day, but I can't today. And I really miss Pennsylvania. I might move to Playa del Rey. I'm just not sure. I might get a roommate. Everything's so mixed up right now. I'm not sure what I'm doing. It's another reason why it's very stressful, and I just have to get this story out so that I can manifest great things in my life, and I will keep you updated on that as well. I just said, you have until June 1st. And my mother's coming on June 1st. And when she comes, the second we get back to the house on June 1st, we are starting to clean immediately. And I promise you, you really don't want to be here when my mother gets here, because she's furious about this situation. She's disgusted and furious. She's a landlord too, so she deals with a lot of people who trash her property. Having my mom here was like having God here with me, because my mom is such a good person. This channel is very much like a political channel, and I talk about my political feelings. I gotta tell you, you could probably tell from everything I've done here, I'm a Democrat at heart, right? But I just don't appreciate what the Democrats have done with the party. Men and women's sports, or people that used to be men and women's sports, and mutilating children, and the corruption, and just, I just can't get down with the party anymore. But my heart is very Democrat. I'm an empath and I look out for people, and it's not the first person I've given thousands of dollars to help out when I had it. She did get out, which was good. She got out the night before. I think she was actually planning on staying until June 1st, because this is the funniest thing. I had to work the night before my mom was coming till like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And I asked my business partner, because I have a vinyl business, I sell records. I asked my business partner to stop by the house, but he was also picking up supplies, because I have all the supplies here in my office. But I asked him to definitely go there and just make sure things are cool. And he told her that he was coming, and he texted her, and then he showed up. And basically what I believe happened was, see these curtains back here and these lights? I think she was in the middle of ripping down these lights and these curtains that are in my living room, where I was going to, do videos in my living room. I think she was in the middle of ripping them down. And that was the one thing I'm like, I bet you she rips down those curtains, and I bet you she rips down those lights. The one nice thing she did for me, besides bringing food on the food stamps and watch my cats, but I bet you she rips them down. And she did. She ripped the curtains down and the lights down. My business partner was here, and he was like, well, she left kind of quickly and said she was coming back. And so I went into the kitchen, and I saw that there was like meat thawing out on the counter. And I thought, that's funny. She was going to rip down the curtains and the lights and then cook dinner in my apartment. She's going to do that. She's going to take down the one gift that the one thing that she did for me. She's got me some skincare too. I'm not going to lie. During Christmas, before she ruined my year and, before she ruined this year with my crashing my car, she bought me some nice skincare. That was nice. But yeah, I just think it's funny that she was going to cook dinner after she did that. And so I was thinking, like, what were you going to do? Like, I was going to come home a little while later and all the curtains were going to be like ripped off the wall and the lights, and you're going to be like cooking up burger meat. Okay. All right. That's cool. So I text her and I said, that's cool that you took down the curtains and the lights. It's the one nice thing you did for me, and you rip them down. I actually paid for the curtains, 4 of them. She took 2 of them, and she was in the middle of taking them all down, but she had to leave 2 of them up. So I took these and I put them in my bedroom just because I do like what she did. I think it's pretty. So I text her and I was like, that's great. You took the curtains down and the lights. And she's like, yeah, well, I worked really hard on putting them up. If you want lights and curtains up, you put them up. And I said, cool. I worked really hard paying off my car. You know how long it took? 6 years. 6 years. Payments. 6 years. Like $400, something around that. Insurance. 6 years. I was like, are you going to give me anything towards the car? How about last month's rent? Am I getting $1,000 for this last month? No, of course not. Are you going to pay electricity? She would blast my air conditioner every day. Every day. Are you going to pay for half the electric bill like you promised? No. But she's going to rip down the curtains because she worked really hard on them for 2 hours. Okay, well, that's part 2, you guys. Thank you for hanging in there with me, and stay tuned for part 3.